It's been a week now and I've played a bit of Phrecia now. A Whisper Power Siphon around level 97.5, and a General's Cry Tectonic Slam at level 94. So far I think the event's been quite enjoyable. I think the best thing about the event is that idols and new ascendancies are going to be added to private league modifiers. I really do like a lot of private league modifiers that can influence the game. I hope they add more stuff like this. Now, on the other hand, it's also kind of a bit worrisome because I don't know how they're going to balance double D classes now. But on the flip side of that, this event kind of proves they're not going to abandon PoE 1. It makes no financial sense to. They can throw a couple employees to make a league, and they could like make an actual league mechanic instead of like just making new builds and stuff, right? So I don't see the game being abandoned long term whatsoever. I could see like less to the updates, but we'll see. Anyways, starting with the ascendancies, I quite like them. I think they're pretty interesting designs with good variety, especially the Whisper with the stealth node. It's probably a little bit too OP, but I like how it drastically changes the playstyle. With most content creators taking a pretty chill approach, it's kind of hard for me to have a grasp on how well the new ascendancies are balanced overall without seeing a large variety of builds yet. I mean, it's probably pretty poor balance, obviously, due to the short time span, and it's an event and not a fully fledged league, even though it has essentially more content than a normal league if you like the facet of playing new builds more so than just interacting with the new mechanic. Is this you? Sitting around all day, getting brain rot? Now is your chance to do something productive. Boot.dev is going to help you learn back-end web development from start to finish in Go and Python programming languages. Since you've got brain rot, they know that the smartest way to code is by making sure you're never bored so you actually stick with it, so you reach your goals. They've done this by gamifying it and turning it into an RPG system with levels, achievements, etc. There are even bi-monthly boss fights where the community will rally together and get bonus XP for each lesson completed during the event. This will help you stay motivated, as you can actually learn without writing a lot of code and putting it into practice. If you ever get stuck, they have an AI-powered bear wizard that can walk you through your issues. He uses the Socratic method, which means that he asks you questions to deepen your understanding instead of just giving you the answer. If you need more help, Boot.dev also has a Discord server that has real humans in it that can also help you if you ever get stuck. Go to boot.dev and use my code DSLily to get 25% off your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. I really like the Whisper getting like different playstyle, but getting 1,000,000 endurance charges basically for free on Ancestral Commander is kind of hard to pass up in hardcore, so the balance maybe a little bit worked on. In terms of tanky builds, I feel like you're kind of constricted a bit, at least at like league start. I also like the idols quite a bit. It's a nice change of pace and adds a new type of loot to get excited for. My major complaint, and I hate to say it since it makes me feel like a whiny Redditor, is that early endgame map progression is pretty rough. Without at least some guaranteed map sustain idols, it can definitely be painful to progress your map tiers. I had a pretty hard wall around T11 or tier 12. I feel like adding some quests that have some guaranteed map mod idols on them would go a long way to make it feel better. Once you're past the initial hurdle though, they're quite fun to interact with, and I like the rate of finding good idols. I feel like it's actually in a pretty good spot. I feel like I find a pretty good idol every couple of maps, not like super good. It takes quite a bit of time to get like a super, super good one. But I think the rate is actually quite good. That being said, I think some strategies with them are too strong. I mean, it's obvious. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's just, I think it's their way of saying go nuts with this for a while or whatever while waiting for PoE 2. Now, some of you know probably that I'm not a huge fan of the game getting super, super crazy very fast. I prefer a mid-pace progression curve to really make your next upgrades feel good. But overall, I think it's a pretty good system. I could definitely see myself each league starting in the normal league, and then maybe after a month or so, making a private league with the idle system. I think it'd be pretty fun in SSF too. It kind of depends on your mindset though, because it will be a grind, but I think the grind will feel very rewarding. With this event, including the Settlers of Cowgirl, I'm probably in the double digits now of actually setting up the town, and I'm feeling pretty burned out from interacting with it, so I've mostly just been ignoring it. But recombinating is just too good, so I'll eventually do that. Hardcore trade has also felt extra dead to me. Probably between a combination of people playing softcore to try wacky new builds and being tougher to actually break into higher tier maps, which means less stuff is on the market. And then I feel like some mechanics got the short end of a stick. Like Expedition felt pretty bad to me even with like a full idle set. Not like a crazy idle set, but I don't know. I feel like I was dropping no logbooks. It could have just been RNG, but you know. Overall, I think it's quite a good event. If new builds are what you look forward to, but I know a lot of people like interacting with new league mechanics, but for me personally, there's so many league mechanics now in the game that you can interact with that I don't really mind there not being a new one. I'm gonna keep playing the event pretty casually in terms of streamer time anyways, and how I'm interacting with it. I'm just chilling. I'm also gonna check out the new Monster Hunter and the new ARPG stuff coming out in the next few months with like PoE 2, 0.2, the new Last Epoch season, and I'm assuming new Torchlight season soon. Anyways, that's all I got.